Okay, now for section 5.2, the problem statement. The problem statement for this course, because this is the first time that many of you have ever done case study analysis, I'm just trying to get you to walk. I'm not trying to get you to run or to sprint. So if I can get you to write a problem statement that is following a template in terms of how to approach it, if I can get you to do it this way, I will feel quite good and confident that you've got a good basis and foundation for how to focus on a problem statement. As you move on to third, fourth year post diploma or graduate work, your professors will actually show you how to write more rigorous, more thorough case study problems statements. But for now, I want you to do a couple of things. I want you to only present one problem that is stated as a question in one sentence. That's it. That's how I want you to write your problem statement. I want you to start your problem statements with the word what can or what should or how should. And I want you to write it with the following template. How can the executive team at blank company do in the short term to either stop, decrease, eliminate, remove something, while at the same time in the long run we want to increase, encourage, stimulate, create, increase something else so as to create a blank workplace, a harmonious workplace, a productive workplace, some sort of motherhood statement at the end. So that's your problem statement. That's how I want you to write it. I don't want to see any particular person's name in your problem statement, because when you write an individual's name, one of the members of the that you're reading about in the case study, if you were to write the particular person's name, then what that tells me is that you are looking at the case study as the symptom is being actually the problem. You're looking at the individual and the circumstances of that particular situation as that is their problem to solve, when in fact it's not. Remember your role. Your role is the general manager, CEO. You want the big picture. So while if you were to write down individual names, you're being far too micro-oriented. You've got to keep the macro picture in mind. So by stating those two time frames, you have that short-term time frame and you have a long-term time frame in your problem statement. Your short-term time frame takes consideration the immediate problem. For example, the Ottawa Valley case, you had these 10 people that were threatening to walk off the job. Your solution has got to address what you're going to do in the immediate short term to get those people off this, from walking away and walking off the job. You've got to get them back into the boardroom and talking. So somehow you've got to have some sort of solution to get them back in. And then for your long-term recommendation is going to have to be something about creating either some sort of a more satisfying workplace, a more respectful workplace. You've got to address some sort of lack of harmony. There's some sort of low job satisfaction, low morale. Those are things that you've got to correct in the long term. And how do you do that? Well, that's a different section. I'm just trying to identify the problem statement at this point, okay? So I want to make sure that you identify the root problem and that you are going to basically have that two time frame perspective. I also encourage you to, and this is worth 8 points by the way as well, so it's very important. There is a handout that I have given out in class which also gives you examples of poor questions in terms of problem statements and a good example. So I encourage you to use that, go back to that, use that as a guideline, and of course also go back to the sample case study that's posted online and take a look at what or how they did it as well. Okay, so that's the problem statement. That is 5.2 in your guidelines to writing a case study. If you want to read more about that, you're more than welcome to go to the guidelines and read it that way. Okay, thank you.